My girlfriend stole my car and tried to lock me out of my own house because I told her to shut up about her weight problem. Now she's begging for me to take her back, but I am done. Plus all updates. My girlfriend Lana and I have been together for 3 years. Ever since we met she has been overweight, and throughout our relationship has gained even more weight. Her weight has never bothered me though. She was beautiful when I first met her, and she still is beautiful today. About 6 months ago, though, Lana went for a checkup with her doctor, who expressed concern about her weight. He said she should ideally be looking to lose around 40 pounds to return to a healthy weight. At first I offered Lana to help with this weight loss, as I had lost about 70 pounds several years back before meeting her, and knew what sort of diet and exercise worked for me. She initially declined, saying she wanted to try herself, but after a month of trying she couldn't lose any weight, so she then asked if I could help her. So I found my old fitness tracker watch so she could track exercise. I also sent her my old spreadsheet that I used to track meals so she could get an idea of her calorie intake. We started walking together each day, and preparing healthy meals together, and I felt it brought us closer together. After 2 months of this, she had lost 15 pounds, and I was really proud of her. After this, though, she started to get back into her old habits. She started declining when I asked if she wanted to go for a walk. I noticed she stopped using the watch and was no longer entering her meals into the spreadsheet in the evenings. Even though we still prepped meals together, she started snacking a lot between meals, saying that she felt hungry. I asked a few times how things were going, and she said that she didn't want to use the spreadsheet anymore, because she knew what she was doing and it was my way of controlling what she ate. I took a bit of offense to this, as I had given her the spreadsheet on her own laptop so she could help herself, and it had been working. Also I don't have access to her laptop, and I never asked to see it, nor did I ever put her down for what she ate. Before long, she was back at her previous weight and even put on an additional 10 pounds. She started to complain about it constantly and shut down any effort I made to help her again because I was trying to control her. She even commented to my friends at dinner that I was trying to stop her from eating all the things she loves, which was not true at all. After that comment, I decided to just stop trying. Every day the complaints kept going. There was always some old item of clothing that no longer fit her. She complained about needing to buy new clothes. She'd always point at her stomach and say, "Oh, look how fat I'm getting." She'd complain that she didn't feel beautiful. She'd say she couldn't walk small distances because she was out of breath because she's too fat to walk. She'd complain that she felt sick because she ate too much. She'd complain about not wanting to swim in public because she was embarrassed of her body. On and on and on she went. Yesterday we were getting dressed to go to my parents' house for dinner. She pulled out shirt I bought her a few months prior, and said, "Oh, I bet this won't fit me." She then tried it on and said, "Yeah, see, I'm too fat for this now. Look how big my stomach is. People will judge me. Blah blah blah." I just lost it, and said to her, "Will you shut up about your effing stomach? I don't want to hear another word about how fat you are, until you actually try to do something about it." She burst into tears. Not saying anything to me, she grabbed another shirt, then ran out of the house and drove off in my car. I didn't know where she went or when she'd be back, but I didn't care. I was sick of hearing about it. Since we only have one car, I called my parents to let them know we wouldn't make it to dinner. I just stayed home and ordered a pizza. About an hour later, I got a call from my mom, saying that Lana had showed up in tears, and told her about what I said. My mom said I knew she was sensitive about her weight, and demanded that I apologize to her. I firmly said that I wouldn't be apologizing, but if she wants to talk, she can come home and talk. My dad also called, again saying that I was a jerk and needed to apologize, but I stood my ground. As far as I know, Lana stayed at my parents' last night. She hasn't contacted me, I haven't attempted to contact her, and don't intend to until she comes back home. Even now a day later, I don't regret what I said, and don't think I was in the wrong. Update a day later, Lana had lied to my parents, saying that I said she was too fat and that she had been trying hard to lose weight, but that I was refusing to do anything to help her. All of that was of course untrue. After reading all the comments I decided that I wouldn't be apologizing for what I said. Still, I was willing to discuss the issue with her, instead of immediately breaking up like some suggested, even though I know she really crossed a line by lying to my parents. I think some people were under the impression that I screamed at her. This wasn't the case. I did snap, but when I said what I did I barely raised my voice. If I had screamed at her, I would apologize. It got to yesterday evening and Lana had still not returned home. Realizing that I actually needed my car the following morning, I got my friend Mark to drive me to my parents' house. I called Lana 3 times, but she didn't answer. Instead I sent her a text, saying that I wanted to talk, and that I'd come by my parents' place soon. Turns out this was a mistake. When we arrived my car was nowhere to be seen and my mom said that Lana had left about 10 minutes ago. I called twice again and no answer. I was texting her that if she didn't return my car, I'd be calling the police, when I got a notification from my doorbell camera. She was back at home, and my car was back in the driveway. All was good, or so I thought. Mark drove me back home, but when I tried to get back inside, Lana had put on the inner latch on the door, so I was locked out. After a few minutes of calling out to her to let me in, all I heard from her was "fuck off." Now I was done. There would be no calm conversation. We were done. Thankfully I was able to climb over the back fence, and get in through the back door. Once inside I told her that she had until that evening to get out. At the time she didn't even protest. She just packed a bag and a friend picked her up an hour later. This morning she has tried calling multiple times. She's now messaging that she's sorry and wants to talk, but I'm not interested. I messaged her that I've packed all her stuff and she can get a friend to come and get it, or I'll put it outside for her to pick up, but she won't be getting in my house again. Now I'll be staying home until I can get the locks changed. I've got a financial agreement in place with her, so she's got no claim on the house or any of my property, so this should be the end of it.